So here's the question. Is a 300 two-stroke a good starting point? Short answer, no. Long answer, well, maybe. They're not a beginner bike. They've got too much power. They're too big. They're too responsive. Are you committed to the challenge? Have you considered the more sensible options? Or do you just want to be Billy Bolt? So I've come out in this stormy weather to have a ride around in these two bikes, my TE300 and also my brother-in-law's Kawasaki KLX140RF. Just compare them a little. Obviously very different bikes. I went straight to the TE300. My brother-in-law went the other path and started on that smaller, less powerful bike, had an easier beginning, but now he has upgraded to a 300 two-stroke as well and is loving it. So just going to have a little play on them today, have a ride around, give you my thoughts while I'm riding and see, is the 300 right for you, or should you start somewhere else and work your way up to it? So yeah, it's not the nicest weather out there today. Welcome to winter in the Pacific Northwest, but we'll have some fun anyway. Go brap around in the woods and get wet and muddy. We'll see you out there. Alright team, so as you can see, it's a beautiful day out here in southern Washington. Got the TE300 here, got the KLX140RF, the big wheel little boy there. Gonna go ride some kind of medium, softer medium enduro for you. Both bikes back to back on the same little bit of trail, and have a little chat as we go and compare. Obviously, I went straight for this big boy right off the get-go and pretty happy with that decision. Had the challenges, but I overcame them. My brother-in-law went for this before upgrading to this, and I think it's a cool little bike. Great starting point, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But let's go for a little ride now and see what this thing can do in wet, muddy conditions. Oh. So like the truck I did. Obviously this bike just has a massive power advantage compared to the little air-cooled 4-stroke. I'm just going to carefully dawdle through this. A little treacherous out here today. But also with that big power does come the big frame size, which for me being quite tall, not that big of an issue to begin with. My brother-in-law was a little bit shorter than me, so I think he enjoyed having a smaller bike to begin things. But now he's doing good on the full-size bike. But I think your biggest consideration really needs to be when picking your first bike, getting out here on single track, is the power. Are you comfortable trying to handle all this power right to begin with? Or do you want to have a bit less stress and take that mellow, smaller capacity bike? Alright, I'm going to shut up for a bit and just ride some trail. Today there's a few trees down, so may come across a down log or two. You gotta love the torque on this thing on the bottom end. You can let yourself get bogged down in low RPMs and just give it a fistful of throttle and she pulls away, which is nice once you've got control of it. nice bit of mellow chow just to get us into the forest here. Oh yeah, everything's hanging low with all the moisture. Oh yeah, piece of wood. Oh yeah, here's that first tree down. Lucky we can sneak under it. This is not a tree down, this is one of our regular obstacles. Just looking extra slick today. Obviously I love the ability of this bike just to be able to chug along in second gear through almost any terrain. Not too often that you... Oh, slippery roots. Slippery roots. Not too often you need to chop down to first, only in the slowest, steepest terrain. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Jeez, slick out here today. See, it's very slippery. Need to be a little careful. I'm riding solo today, so take it easy. But you do just have to love the tractable power in these things. So nice to ride once you got the hang of them. But you do also see a lot of people out in the woods on a 450 motocross bike, which to me it's just not the bike for it, and it's a lot of beginners as well, and man do they look like they're struggling. If you're going to go for a full power bike right off the get-go, may I suggest, the 300 two-stroke over a 450 four-stroke. Let's get over this log. There we go. Oh. Oh. Might go down to the first for that start. There we go. Oh man. Rear tire is just lighten up in these soft conditions. Alright. That's top of our track there. Let's just get turned around. And back down we go. Should be quite obvious to you as well, when you're buying a full-size kind of race enduro bike like this, you're getting all the good components on it, the suspension, the brakes, which makes everything run a little bit better, a little bit more reliably than those little guys. They have more entry-level components. Especially in conditions like this, going down slippery, kind of treacherous single track. having reliable brakes, good suspension, does make a big difference. So, but you are paying for it. Woo-hoo. Slip and slide out here today. It's good though. I love the slippery routes. And that comes from my mountain biking background back in New Zealand. Pretty common to be riding steep, slippery routes. So I'm not completely unfamiliar even before I started dirt biking. Whoa! Front tire washing me a little there. Oh yeah. Get the two-wheel power slide around that last corner. Using a lot of rear brake today. It's going to be nice and light on that front brake. I'm pretty fortunate to have access to these private trails. Pretty cool little spot. Alright, that's the single track. Up and down on one bike. Oh yeah, my goggles are starting to fog. Vision of it here. How's your vision going? Oh, I'm going to take my goggles off here in a sec. Can't believe it. We'll just wait till we get out of here. That last bit of wood, and we'll stop here for a moment. So there you go, nice bit of single track testing there on the TE300. I love it, feels amazing. Now that I'm in control of everything and just getting better by every ride, I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't have done it the other way, but obviously you've got to weigh those things up for yourself. So I'll head back to the truck and swap out bikes, and then you get to see me rip up that same bit of trail on the 140RF, the big wheel little bike. Alright, see you back then. Alright, we got the little bike warmed up, the camera's mounted. Obviously this is the 140RF, so if I was to go for one of these when I started, it wouldn't have been this one. It would have probably been the bigger 230 with a more full-size frame, because this thing's a bit small for me. But similar idea. Low powered, air cooled, smaller cc engine. Just a little bit more friendly to ride. We'll see if this thing can get me up that trail in these conditions. So we're going to do back to back, same trail. Now obviously I'm very cramped on this thing. I'm about 6'2". So for the shorter people in the world, this is a great little bike. It's still got full-size wheels, which is nice. Being able to roll over obstacles, but it's a much smaller frame. Like I said, this is my brother-in-law's. He's upgraded to the 300 now, but he's keeping this for his wife's first bike now, which I think is a great idea if that is something you're looking for. If you and your partner are both trying to get into this together, or even another friend, this can be a great beginner bike or something similar to it to be shared with other people as they move up as well, instead of just getting rid of it. Or it's a really fun little camp bike, this one. It's nice and small, easy to maneuver, it's quiet around camp. Great little bike just to have if you can afford to have two bikes. Just tote around the place. Not going to wake up the neighborhood early morning at a campsite like the old 300 two-stroke or big four-stroke would. This thing is, let's say, not as confidence-inspiring, but as I mentioned, very mellow. All right, into the woods we go. Let's see if this thing can do it. Full disclaimer, I have ridden this thing up here before, but not in these wetter conditions, so I know it can get up. Oh man, standing up on this thing is real hard for me. I gotta be in a little full squat position the whole time. Hard to keep the old elbows up at a time. But I'm pretty much wide open on the throttle right now, and yeah, it's going for it, but it's obviously not going to try and tear my arms off. Oh, one thing I'm noticing is these tires are not very good. But, you know, stock mini bike tires, what do you expect? But I've got nice IRC gummies on my bike, so very big difference in tire performance in these wet conditions. I think I'm just going to have to do pretty much this whole thing seated. Oh, see if we can get over these logs, huh? Oh, easy. That's actually, in these slippery conditions, with how little and light this bike is, well, it doesn't have the power. Pretty easy just to pop the front wheel up and get it over stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. This one might have to be first gear a lot of the way just to have enough torque to get the up stuff. We'll try second. Gonna have to keep some momentum in second to get up. I'm gonna avoid the meat of the roots on this bike. Oh! Can you still see? See how mellow it is? I'm happy to take a hand off while I'm riding up this trail. I mean, it's pretty fun though. I'm just seated the whole time, dabbing feet. Yeah, I can't stand up. Oh, give it some beans. Oh. And we stalled it. All right. Doesn't have the oomph to get up there now. Just first gear, we'll walk into this bit. Come on, buddy. Try to just jump on it. Alright, well there you go. Already starting to see limitations. Lacking in power and torque. But it's pretty fun. Really like, it's not intimidating. So the good thing is once you work out some skills, you can actually like kind of thrash these things and have a bit of fun. So try to carry some momentum of that one. See, something like that, and I just blast up easy on the 2-stroke. This thing, it's trying to carry momentum, working the throttle, working the clutch. And yes, if you're a much better rider than me, you can probably get it up pretty easy, but gotta remember, I'm still not that good at this. Oh, and we dug in a foot peg. We've got another uphill coming here, so let's get a little bit of a run up. I'm frying this clutch already. Go, go, go. Oh yeah. It is a little tractor though. If you can keep it running, keep it in the right rev range, it does tractor up this stuff. Oh, trying to stand and use the rear brake on this little thing is a bit treacherous. Last up to a log hop. Yeah, easy to get the front wheel over, but oh. Come on, little guy. There we go. Ah. There we go. Although it's light and easy to throw around, all the stopping and starting and lifting that I don't have to do on my 300, this is tiring me out more. Alright, gogs are fogging. I'm gonna go gogless and just watch the eyes on this one. Back down we go. For me, this will be a bit of a challenge on this bike. I'm just going to kind of sit back and try and use the rear brake where I can. Whoa. See if we can do this log a bit better on the way down. God, look how beautiful it is out here. Nice. Ah. There we go. Gotta find the black point on this clutch. Very different to the hydraulic on the 300. Alright, this hill needs a bit of them. There we go. It's pretty cool out here in the woods today. In the clouds. God, you gotta love the Pacific Northwest. Even coming from the paradise of New Zealand, this place is pretty special. Oh yeah. This thing feels like it's a kid's mountain bike on the descent. Definitely not as confident on the brakes and suspension on this bike. There we go. Let's get a little slow. I'm getting a lot of arm pump on this bike. So I'm just not used to the controls and it's all feeling a bit weird and cramped. Oh yeah. Oh, and the room section. Honestly, I didn't even think about this morning, but I'm feeling the biggest limitation on this bike today is actually the tyres. And I'm not sure what tyres you can get for this thing, but full size rims, but so I suppose you can get anything you want. But the stock ones are not very good, let's put it that way. Dude, yeah, open her up. Oh yeah, listen to that. Stock exhaust purr. Well, I need that rear brake. I can't operate the rear brake while I'm seated on this bike. I'm sure the 230 or something more full size frame in this kind of category would be much better for my body. Oh. All right, back to the truck we go. I think I've gotten wet and sloppy enough today just for these two little roads. Although having said that, the clouds are starting to part now. Well, the little guy did it. Good, no one stole my big bike. Well, there you go. What I think are probably two best options at either end of the spectrum: TE300, KTM 300, Gas 300, Beta 300, anything in that ballpark. And then Kawasaki KLX, whichever size of it works for you. Obviously Honda, Yamaha have versions, but I think this Kawasaki version is pretty cool. Disc brakes, front and back, electric start, everything you could want. Comes in a couple of sizes, big wheels, small wheels, bigger engine. You probably get an idea from today, the obvious big difference between the two of them, and which one might suit you better. As I mentioned, a lot of that comes down to budget. Are you willing to fork out for one of these and then have to either get rid of it or hang on to it as a second bike while you then purchase and upgrade to the bigger bike? That wasn't me. I could only afford one bike and I didn't want to be faffing around with selling and buying again. So that was a factor in my decision to go straight for the big bike, along with other factors. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what bike you started on and what bike you are currently riding down in the comments. And we'll see you next week. Ciao. If you do decide to go down the 300 two-stroke path, there are some obvious hurdles to overcome, but nothing that can't be managed. But you need to be honest with yourself. Are you going to put in that work? Are you going to take that time? Are you willing to take that risk?